Hi everybody, this is Dennis, and I'm going to be doing the full review of this giant, massive book. Taschen puts it out. This is called X-Men Volume 1, 1963 to 1966. Guys, this is one superly massive book. If you saw the thumbnail, you can kind of attest to how big it is. It is over 10 pounds, over 660 pages, and it's a hardcover ranging 11 inches wide by 16. I even brought a tape measure just so you guys know, because it's hard to tell on here. Look at the size of this. This is almost the original length of the artwork. This is one of the X-Men XXL size books. I have, had done previously the Jim Lee one. This is really cool. In this book, like I said, this is a pristine pedigreed comics that were cracked open, and they were used for photography, and they reproduced them in close collaboration with Marvel and the CGC company. Each page photographed exactly as printed more than a half century ago. Then they digitally remastered using today's techniques, and they were able to clean it up. And the custom paper stock was exclusively developed for this series, which kind of simulates the feel of the original book. Now I'm going to just kind of lift it. Everything's going to shake because it's so massive. Just take a look at that. 1966. This is a big hardcover. You can even see it has a really nice, it's got a bookmark and everything right inside of it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to crack it open and we're going to start going through it. But it's the first 21 stories of the X-Men that were ever done. Let's get this baby centered up. And you can see how it's got some of the ones from X-Men #1 right in it. This is the really heavy front cover stock that they're using. And you can see famous first edition. This is copy number 661 of the X-Men Comics Library from 1963 to 1966. And a first printing of 5,000 copies, printed and bound in Italy, spring of 2023. You can see Taschen as the company. So we're going to start cracking this one open. And one of my favorite writers of all time. This has the foreword, Chris Claremont. Confession, I'm not from around here. It's actually very cool. And he talks about it, and you can see some of the scanned in. There's some of the original artwork from X-Men #8. Like I said, guys, it's hard to see it because it almost looks like the quick flips that, we use during our regular ones, comic size, but I had to zoom everything out just so that you can see this. So underdogs with a view from the top. Fabian has a nice excerpt that's in it. Look at that, the return of the Blob. God, I wish I owned some of those original art pieces that were in it. So this is a lot of the foreword. Look at that, Tales of Suspense. I brought Cyclops back to life. This is a cool read. I can't wait to actually have time to sit down. I need like an entire weekend where I have nothing going on just to sit down and do it and do nothing but read this from cover to cover. I did that with like my Marvel Masterworks and my omnibuses. And but yeah, this is cool. You can see how a lot of the production was done. Some of the notes, how they put them out there. X-Men, just look at that. The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Look at that, man. If only to own some of these. This is just incredible stuff, guys. You all know X-Men, the old X-Men were my favorite. Jean Grey, the Phoenix Saga, my favorite story of all time in any of the comics. You can even see, how the X-Men crossed over in the day. Tales of Suspense. And a lot of the other characters showed up in like Defenders. They even showed up in like ROM. I mean, seriously, the X-Men were so hot for a while that they were literally in everything. And then Wolverine came out. The Coming of Kazar. So like I said, there's a lot of really cool stuff in the beginning here. Look at that note. Imagine how the production was back then and how they mailed everything, or they were all sitting there. This is just cool, awesome history that's going into this. And I'm just going to flip through some of the forewords because this is cool, but it'll give you guys a really neat idea. And if you guys like, like artisan editions and you guys like to see behind the scenes, this might actually get you to want to buy it. I know that this hardcover is $200 and you're like, wow. But guys, it's over 666 pages, this massive side. The paper is fantastic. It is a hardcover of super high quality. I'm absolutely loving it. As a matter of fact, it even comes in a really nice box for you to display it. As a matter of fact, while we're looking here, I'm going to show it to you guys. I'm going to bring over the box just so that you guys can see it. It comes in a great big huge box that you can see. And I'll flip it open so you can see. And it stores right in there. Nice and sturdy like. So it is definitely, like I said, I'll be storing mine in the box because I think the box is really awesome. And it'll protect it just in case something were to happen. Plus it doesn't get dusty. These are cool, just recreations of the scenes, how they do it with a yellow background. And now we actually get into the comics. I've kicked around the idea of actually like reenacting and reading through the stories of the original X-Men. And I know some of you guys had been asking me to do it for a while. I have raw copies of almost every issue except number 1. I only have my one slabbed one. So I'd have to do a reprint, or maybe I could do it from here. But look at that. Look at that ad. Yep, even the ads. And guys, you can see by the size of my hand, these are just massively reprinted. This is all in that nice stock. And now this one, I know it'll be hard to see, but it really is a custom print. It's very much like the old new stock. And it's just very well done. And like I said, each of these were done from a picture from somebody's collection. I know in the first several ones, like the Spider-Man and Avengers and stuff, I think that was all Shelton Drum's personal collection. I am not sure who did the X-Men. If you guys do know that, leave it in the comment down below. I would love to know if it was one person's pedigree collection or if it was multiple. But just taking a look at, man, I still remember reading these, man. Even when they reprinted them and stuff like that, because I didn't start collecting X-Men until the 1970s. But I have read this issue so many times in various different forms, Marvel Masterworks, and even how you can see how everything looks so close to the original. The way that they used to print comics. I hate to say it, these new ones are awesome in terms of the looks and the feel that the new ones get, the gloss, the super great paper. But there is something about this old style that just kind of takes you back. And I know some of you may agree or disagree with me, and that's cool. Maybe it's because I grew up reading that. But I mean, look at that, Jack Kirby, Magneto when he gets introduced. This is just one of the best. Look, I'll direct my magnetic impulses into the Energizer to increase their power, and then I'll leave the helpless Homo sapiens with no room for doubt. You can see him doing it. The things that they came up with back then, I mean, these really were pioneers, these old superhero books, like I said. So this literally will be all the stories through the first 21. And this is just like I said, piece of history. I kind of get goosebumps when I do this. Would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to have seen what was going on back in the day when these were created. You always have this romanticized view of how everything goes, but man, it would have just been neat to see how this came around. They have nice ads and stuff in the middle. Check that out. They reprinted the back page. It's also in the high glossy stock. And then we get right into issue number 2. Open it up. There's the inside cover. Reprinted. Guys, I wonder if you mailed that in today, what would happen? Anyway, this is the first appearance of the Vanisher. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Honestly, I kind of just want to, flip through this and for you guys to take a look. You guys are either going to, love this old style or you're not. I know a lot of you will. I mean, there's a lot of Kirby fans out there. Stan Lee, when I got to meet him, this is just awesome stuff to talk about. He loved comic books. Some of you may or may not love Stan, just like some of the artists and stuff. But back then, they were creating this stuff, and the collaborations and probably the arguments of what they came up with. These had to be, it would have just been incredible to sit there and go through it. And, even back then, something so simple as a gun with gas that comes out. I mean, that stuff today wouldn't fly, but, look at that. In front of the White House, I'll give you costume juveniles exactly 10 seconds to clear out of here or suffer the consequences. My business does not concern you. Man, so simple, everything, but you can just see, oh, and they did a nice 3-panel spread there just to show how he vanished. And just think, a lot of times in comic books back then, they had to come up with creative ways to display it because, these were new. They did have the golden age and stuff like that, but, Steranko did a lot of really cool stuff when he put things in. Check that out. On sale now. Another Marvel masterpiece in the famous Marvel style. And we go right onto it. There is the back cover for people looking to draw. And then we get into Blob. I think I'll speed this up a little bit just so you guys, I wasn't going to flip through the whole thing, but I don't know. We'll see. I may wind up doing it. Look at that all transistor watch radio. Man, we actually did an entire show on the ads, and we had the author of the book that was in all these wonderful comic ads. You can find that in the archives on the DNA show. It's great. I still have his book, and I remember ordering a lot of the ads, back in the 70s. Like I said, I didn't really start collecting until, the mid-1970s is really when I started going back and picking up whatever X-Men I could afford. That's basically what it was, because I wasn't around in 1963. And I wish my parents would have maybe got those for me. It would have saved me a lot of money over time. But who knew? So as we flip through it, like I said, there's just things like that. I mean, check that out. There's the Blob. Away back. His grip is unbreakable. Once he grabs you, but we'll see to it that he never grabs any of us again. Uses his optic blast. Boom. It makes him fall. So simple. So simple. And now look at how complicated the storylines have to be. This really was some of the best reading. Now here's the bookmark. You can see that it was laid up in there. Very nice. There's, again, another one. There's your hypnotize. So you guys want to learn hypnotism? The X-Men would have been able to teach you. We go in there, how to solve tough math problems. That would have been kind of neat right there. I'm curious if it was just simple tricks, because, a lot of those things were kind of scams. But we get into Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. Oh, for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Before they went off and went tooling around with all the Avengers. Look at that. Even on there, the Daily Record Bulletin. Tiny Republic of Santo Marco shelled by mysterious naval craft. Yeah. Look at the army that they put together. Always got to have Magneto, Beast. Beast has really evolved over a character. Same thing with Angel. Angel was neat, you know. Iceman was always a second fiddle because Warren was always good looking. All the women liked him. He was rich. I mean, how did you not like Warren? And so poor Bobby had to run out and always had to pick up like Kitty Pryde and try to use his charm and his wit. You know, everybody had their place in the books, and everything was cool. Then they started developing the relationships, which was great. Look at that. On sale now. Look at the cool books. Some of these I own, some of them I don't. And there's your shoe store. Look at that. Guys, this is just awesome. And fill the gap in your family's education with the amazing made simple self-teaching encyclopedia. Don't know why it's self-teaching. It didn't read you, but it was an encyclopedia that you could get. So, yeah, with this one, this is awesome. The Return of the Evil Mutant. Jean Grey's folks show up. Oh, look at that. Asteroid X. That is so cool. And guys, like I said, I own these in many different flavors and varieties. Reprints, omnibuses, masterworks. But to have it in newsprint this size, you know, I was really debating this. And there's, you can actually see the really cool. There's the bookmark. You know, I was kind of contemplating it, but man, when I got to see this in person, yeah, it really became a no-brainer. Seeing it in the enlarged size like this, man, I really do want to sit down and just read this all over. I really need some time, but I think I got to finish Core Draft The Reckoning and get those shipped out before I have time just to sit down and read. So I know you guys would rather have that than me sit down and read this. So hopefully maybe that will what we'll do after we get the book shipped. Oh, look at that. New accordion. Save up to 1/2. For those of you who didn't think accordions were a thing, look at, you could learn how to play it. That is so cool. There we go. Let's visit the X-Men. There we go. It became good enough where they started the awesome at the end where you could talk X-Men and write it. Look at that. You could sell grit. How many of us went and sold grit? Not me. I sold other things. Hypno coins. Here we go. Hypnosis again. This was just great stuff. Oh, look at that. A dime. And you could look like Mr. Universe. This one, we get the Submariner. The First Mutant. Earn big money. Man. So like I said, guys, as we go through this is just great. I almost, maybe what I'll do is maybe this will be the book when I go through and read these. This is just really hard to flip through. And I got a big pole right into the way here where I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I have to try and reach around because I had to elevate this so tall in order to get this in. I do love that. Prince Namor. He goes boink, and he's just standing there. His little winged feet sitting there. This is so cute. He was strong. He gets optic blasted. Oh, look at the way Namor was drawn back then. I'm being rocked by an invisible force more powerful than anything I've ever felt. Coming from that peak, it's Magneto operating his monstrous magnet. I must fight it. I cannot be beaten now. Love it. Love it. So simple. And there's literally a giant magnet from there. Guys, this is just awesome. Look at that. Pinups. There's our first X-Men pinup. Check that out. Scott Summers. I don't know, guys. Would have really preferred Jean Grey to be the first, but that's my humble opinion. Yep. American selling seeds. You guys could go growing stuff. Now their blob comes back. There's their cool fishing stuff. Like I said, guys, this is just a piece of Americana as we go through everything. It says I'm just going to kind of flip through it. Every page, you notice not one of them is stuck together. The quality on this thing is just fantastic. I hope I didn't just jinx myself. Man, this is just awesome. More, look at that, Triumphs for Marvel on sale now. Awesome books. There's some more. Let's visit the X-Men once again. You can enclose your letter. It even tells you where to send it in New York. You know, baseball games. Played 1964 Big League baseball games. Man. Guys, this is just cool stuff. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do the whole thing or not because, you know, it's just flipping page. I mean, I'm loving this. I don't know how many of you really... If you stick around for this, then I'm impressed. If you're a huge X-Men fan, maybe you just wanted to check out what the quality of these books are. I think it's fantastic. I love it. I'll be curious to see if they do any more of them. There's the Beast pinup. There's the nice paperwork. Look, fellas, you can earn cash. Oh, look at that little old transistor. Lucifer. Oh, there we go. There's good old Thor and Iron Man. Look at that Giant Man. Love it. Love the crossover. Early crossover stuff like this. Like I said, this newsprint. Oh, tidal waves coming in like that. There's my girl. There is Jean in the first pinup. Be way more exciting when she becomes Phoenix, but that won't be in this book. There's Kazar. Man, they do just enough in this to just merely make me want to sit down. So, guys, I think I'll probably cut it short here because it's just going through these page by page. But everything is cool. You can see the quality of this book. This is absolutely fantastic and stunning. You know, let's visit the X-Men. Goes to 2 pages. They had a lot more people hopping in and wanting to send in. The Merry Marvel Marching Society. You could join the clubs. There we go. There's the first appearance of the Stranger. I think what I'll do is let me just kind of skip ahead a little bit just so we can see some of the cool stuff at the end. Oh, yeah, we kind of probably got to do Juggernaut. We've got the Sentinels coming up. I mean, yeah, guys, this is just good stuff. Look at that. X-Men Society. Here's the first Juggernaut. Yeah, I'm going to have to show the Juggernaut. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby bringing you another awesome character. Look at that. Not even going to say a whole lot. Probably tired of listening to my voice. But man, that is just cool. This is before Black Tom and everything like that. Look at that. So, dear brother, we meet again. What a pity it's for the last time. Then it's true. Kane Marco has become a human juggernaut. Dun, dun, dun. Totally awesome. Look at that. X-Men merch. That is cool, guys. You could have been one of the first ones on the block to get it. Your monster size, that one. We get into the big juggernaut fight, which is awesome. I am going to show this one. I mean, this is Sentinels. There we go. Among Us stalk the Sentinels. Another one of my... Love the Sentinels, guys. One of my favorite villains. Right up until they brought in Nimrod. The original Nimrod, not this new one. The original Nimrod was just fantastic. But this goes off into Master Mold. Great storylines. They did so many really cool and wonderful things with it. I mean, love the Sentinels. Even love it when they did the 90s cartoon. And remember the ladies were all in the mall when it gets attacked by Sentinels. That was just fantastic. There's the origin of the beast. There we go. There's Master Mold, which is also really kind of cool. You can see it. We need to go stop them. Look at that. Ah, love the Sentinels. Just love the Sentinels. Look at that. Master Mold. We get to the bullpen, the bulletin. More merch. There's their survival. I'm just kind of skip ahead. If Iceman should fail. Notice how they had gone from like snowman into the actual ice form. And of course, look at that. Mimic. We all remember Mimic. Some of you may say rest in peace, Mimic. Lucifer. You can see as your hair going. Yep, look at that. Even back then, here ads. And there we go. We're just going to hit the final one so we can see the back of the book. Dominus. So as we go through this, guys, leave your comments down below. I know not all you are huge, but they got a number of different books out there from... These are just absolutely fantastic. So if you are a fan of any of these original superheroes, I would highly recommend getting it. I think you can get these on Amazon. I do not know if it's jumped up, but I think you can go directly through their website and pick it up. So I just wanted to go through the end. Here's the, sorry about that. Here's the history. There's your storylines and credits for everything. So they very nicely lay everything out. And it kind of gives like a little synopsis of each one. There's just a lot of detail that they stuck into this. So this just isn't a reproduction, guys. This is just fantastic. How does that grab you? Werner Roth. So as we close this one up, guys, I'm just trying to do it. Marvel. Oh, there's the original pinup. Oh, God, if I had, I would make room on my wall for that. So anyway, call me Magneto. Love it, guys. You can see the acknowledgments. CDC talks about it. They go through the reproductions in the original comics and what they did. And then I'm going to close it. And you can see it ends. The back cover is issue number 21. So you can see what a huge book this is. Starts with 1, ends with 21. Guys, I am going to give this, coincidentally enough, a CGC rating. This is a 9.8. This is as close to a perfect book as I could probably ask for. I love everything about it. My wife's probably not too happy that I spent that much on it, but guys, once in a lifetime kind of thing. It's like just under from owning like an X-Men #1 signed by Stan Lee. I mean, this is just really a close thing. I almost wish I would have had this one when Stan was around to have him sign it. So anyway, guys, you can go online, check it out. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts below. Love spending time with you guys doing this. Always leave me questions. You can contact me directly through Twitter or Facebook. All the information is down below. Also, check out, I'll leave a link down there for Kordrath The Reckoning, the project that we're finishing up right now. The first appearance of Kordrath and Adriana in their awesome 76-page comic. Could be 80-page if we hit the $100,000 stretch goal. And click on the link below. Check that out. Check out the D&D Dungeons & Dragons module that I've made for it so you can read the book and play the game. And anyway, check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And let me know if you wind up picking up one of these. I'm going to say I even like this probably better than the Jim Lee XXL one that I had picked up. So thanks for joining, guys. And we will see you on one of the DNA shows. Every Wednesday we do a live stream where we bring on comic creators. You guys get to join us and ask questions, hear their history and origins, and see what's going on in their lives. It's a great time, so join us. We will talk to you all real soon.